Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're getting started on the Storm Collectibles Street Fighter V Juri. Now, let's get it popping. Now, I gotta say, this is probably in my opinion, this is probably the best female Storm Collectibles we've gotten in a while. And that's because they made her hyper articulated. They gave it a wide hips, the Kiki style, right? For those who don't know, Kiki is one of the artists on Street Fighter, and they pretty much wanted to match that design, and I feel like they've done an excellent job of that, down to the head sculpt, articulation. We can even get some of the mannerisms, right, as you can see here. Then there's the favorite pose that most people do. I'm gonna straight up jump into it with like the super duper bent over looking fine like bent over pose, and it's like you can actually do a lot of that with her. Now, articulation wise, there are two nitpicks I have, but other than that, I feel like she is solid across the board, right? We do have what I call a pretty accurate outfit. Like, you see the Shadowloo spider design here in the back. The colors are popping. The mix of pinks and purples, the eye patch, and I really feel like the head sculpt works here. Some people may feel a little bland, but I feel like it's dead on. And the eye, so good, right? Then, like I said, we have a beautiful articulation where we still get our soft rubber overlay that really works for the design, but we have maximum articulation. We have bicep swivel, which I know a lot of people worry about, so Storm included that with her. We have a beautiful butterfly joint. She has full extension range of the arms, even though she uses taekwondo stances, right? And then even with the legs, we can go all the way out, but as you can see, like with most of the rubber overlay in the design, it'll pop out of the torso, but have no fear because that's a design thing. As you can see, it fits right back in. Let's actually fix that focus. There we go. As you can see with her, it'll fit right back in. So that means even when you put the legs back down, push back in, little to no issue, right? We can also get our leg all the way up. And I know we always hear about the squeaking, but that is a plastic thing. But even with pushing her body style to the limits, right? One of those things where I like about the Storm stuff, I'd rather it fall apart because I'm pushing it too far as opposed to breaking. But as you can see here, even with her thick thighs saving lives, she has full extension range to do beyond 90 degrees, right? We still have a thigh swivel so we can rotate in and out. We do have a beautiful double joint. The one nitpick I'm going to have is that the overlay right here on the rings of her design will get in the way of her ankle pivot in some stances, so you need to be careful with that. But if that's something you can overlook, which I can, it's fine, but it does get in the way of certain poses, right? But if you want to do literally most of her designs, her body is pretty much made to like get crazy, right? Look, we can get full leg extension. We have a toe pivot there. So that means getting these poses will not be an issue. It means including the pose that she made famous for a while and not a Hwang, which reminds me, because we have her, I would love a Hwang. So my guys at Storm, if you're listening, please know I want a Hwang. Sorry about the focus. I have my main man Ichigo in the background. I keep forgetting I take him out while we do the posing, and he makes appearances at the end now, right? But look, Juri stay posed, right? That means even rotating to the side, no issues. We can rotate our arms, right? Beautiful overlays, head and neck. So like I said, even with the popping out issue, which is not an issue, it allows you to better be mobile. As you can see here, poses are just not an issue for her, and I love everything about that, right? With that being said though, I want to talk about her accessories, right? That one is really tricky to me because like, what do you include her? And honestly, you include her leg kick effects outside of the hands, right? So let's get her posed up. Stay, right? We will get another scope, which is like a grin smiling face. Next up, we'll also get the unmasked eye pose, which is grinning over to the left. Well, not to the left. It's grinning over to the right. Sorry. I love this. No eye patch, just straight getting to it. All hands for her, right? Next up, we'll get a set of hands. So we will get some open action hands. I love the painted fingernail style, right? You will get Taekwondo stance hands or action-oriented hands. You'll get 2 of each for left and right. Then you have the sort of palm action hands. Like I said, you'll get this across the board. Ooh, I dropped it. So we will get these across the board, as well as what you saw previously with our open action hands. But the big overlay for her are going to be your 2 effect parts, which, as you can see, one of them is right here. You get the whooshy effect parts. This one is actually hard plastic, which kind of surprised me. And then for her foot placing, you're going to place primarily the one player side of her foot. Ooh, is it the one player side or is it the other side? Let me look. Hold on, because I cannot remember. Yeah. Nope, I got it on the wrong side. I gotta be, because ain't no way, right? So I'm gonna play around with this on screen with you guys to figure it out, because I don't. Oh, there it is, right? So the left leg. So that means any overlay design that you do, it's made to fit in there. And as you can see, that is a poor representation of her. So let's actually fix that. Let's say she was in the air making contact coming down. That looks a lot better, right? And that is to fit her left leg. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. Let's see what happens if we try to rotate that around. Try to fix that. It can fit in the right leg as well. Okay, look. All right. We're getting somewhere. But then we get this banging ass moonsault effect. It's so big that I technically can't even fit it all in. And what's cool about it is there is a stance to hold her foot in there as well. So we're going to hold the right foot, as you can see there. That's for that right foot. But in case you don't want the full effect to fit, or you want to do a half moon effect, you can just break it down into this one piece. And we will get a stand that has height adjustments that you can pose it in and hold her up in. So let's see, right? We're going to see how it fits her. We're going to see how this works out. We're going to do it on camera, because I want to make sure she can hold that balance. We got it in, and yes, technically she can hold the balance. I'm going to actually bring my camera up to fool around as we mess around and find out. And as you can see here, she's holding. She's on her stance, holding. And as you guys can hear, Riley's in the background. But I do enjoy that we can also still use these effects as well. I like the idea that the effect can hold with or without her, and you can do a combination of set effects. So let's try to combine the two, right? Because Mr. Lee showed it off really well on Instagram, and from what I'm doing now, I clearly can tell I'm not doing it to its full potential, which I will get obviously in photos, right? But always on camera, I feel like I don't do it justice. It's something I've been battling with. But yeah, this is one of those things where I'm like, oop, see, look, I'm messing up constantly because I can't find the port. I'll find it later. But as you can see here, if you wanted her to fit in her effect, you can. So that means the half moon somersault looks good no matter what you do with her in it. And I'm going to find new and cool ways to like work with that. It's one of those things where on camera is hard because of the distance of without me reaching in or not being able to see, my hands can't go that far. So the finagling doesn't work. But you will see it in photos, and I promise I'll make it look good. I'm sorry. But now, without further ado, we're going to jump into the size comparisons. I'll see you guys in a bit. Let's jump into our size comparison. First, let's compare to Street Fighter V Cammy. Right? Then we'll do Battle Costume Chun-Li. Right? Our muscle mommy here. And as you can see, Juri is kind of like in the middle. What is up with the focus? There we go. As you can see, Juri is a little in the middle. Taller than Cammy, shorter than Chun-Li. Right? Then we're going to take it away. Then we have Blue Mary from SNK. So I wanted to, add the other females. So this makes me actually pretty excited for my Shiranui. I don't mind a different continuity in sizes because maybe she could just be a little bit bigger. Then we compare it to the tiny 19-year-old Baki. Right? as I feel like martial arts prowess, this would be really up there and really dope. And as you know, Baki's a little bit smaller, so it's pretty cool to see it. Then we have characters like Akira Yuki and Evil Ryu from Storm. Right? Then we have the slightly bigger boys, which is like Edmund Honda and Vega / Bison himself, battle costume. So as you can see, she's a small girl compared to the rest of these guys, but I feel like it works within the continuity of Street Fighter, as you want characters to look their sizes, but mixing and matching is not necessarily an issue. Bonus, here is my main man King, who reminds me of my boy Ichigo, right? He's hunched over a little bit, but as you can see, he's clearly a big boy. And just in case you're wondering, here's Ichigo, a little Mezco toy. So you kind of get the feeling of where they're placed at with others. Right? That's so that way the copyright strikes don't come against me. So yes, there we are, enjoying. So please, I hope you found this informative. I hope you enjoyed. And Riley's sitting here being a jerk, so I'm going to toss him on the table. Come here, buddy. Because, you know, he's been sitting here waiting for treats this whole time patiently. So I appreciate that, Riley. So I do want to thank you guys for watching, being cool this entire time, especially when I lost my voice and now I got it back. So yeah, thank you as always. So please, be good, do good, and drink your water, guys. Later.